What's up everybody, Ultima Reviews here, and welcome to the LG G4 review. The LG G4 is literally beautiful. LG have done an incredible job on the design. It features some of the most beautiful curves and contours we've ever seen on an LG device. So, holding the G4, you're immediately surrounded by this bold and reflective metal. Personally, I find it super attractive. It's just so appealing to look at, and it also provides a little bit of weight to the G4. Nevertheless, it makes the G4 look a whole lot more premium. Now, holding the G4 also feels very comfortable, and I guess you would expect that from a smartphone, but LG have really perfected it. However, in comparison to the G3, everything is pretty much in the exact same place. You've got the LG logo at the bottom, and you've also got the same volume rocker and power button positioning. But I really do have to give credit to LG. The way the phone feels in the hand is just so comfortable. They flattened off the edges, so as you hold it in the hand, it practically just fits in your palm. It's just so nice to hold. So this time round, LG have gone ahead and included a 5.5-inch quantum dot display. Now, going deep into quantum dot can be quite intimidating and confusing, so for that reason I'm going to cut things short and just kind of summarize it for you guys. So, at least on the G4, the quantum dot display promises 20% better color reproduction, 25% brightness improvement, and 50% greater contrast than its predecessor, the G3. And if that still doesn't convince you, let's take a look at the display. So as you can see, the colors on this display simply look magnificent. That 20% increase in the color reproduction really stands out, and in my honest opinion, this is probably the best display we've seen on a flagship so far this year. The pixel density is at 538, also at a resolution of 2560 by 1440, similar to the G3 last year. And I also really wanted to comment on the bezels. Yes, they are super thin and it looks incredible. It's actually a 72.5% screen to body ratio. So you've got 72.5% of the screen on the body, and that leaves bezels, super thin bezels, and it looks incredible. It just makes the whole experience look more immersive, especially when you're playing games and watching movies. Now, let's talk power. The G4 is definitely up there with the big dogs. It features Qualcomm Snapdragon 64-bit 808 processor, alongside 3 gigs of RAM and a clock speed of 1.8 GHz. To summarize, it's fast. I haven't come across any form of lag whatsoever. It's ridiculously responsive and even scored 49,770 on benchmark testing. It did score a little less than the S6 and the S6 Edge. However, these differences in processing power would only really become noticeable during the intense multitasking. I don't really think you're gonna see the difference just casually using the phone. Now, it also features Adreno's 418 chip, which definitely provides that boost in graphic performance, and that's clearly going to be noticeable during gaming. And the G4 will also be powered by Android Lollipop 5.1 with the LG Optimus 4.0 user interface mounted on top. One thing I really love with the LG user interface is its simplicity. It's literally bloatware free, there's no useless apps, it's just so chilled out and relaxed. It's easy to navigate, it's probably one of the best out there. Now, if you're the type of person who loves to get creative with their photography, then the G4 is for you. Until I've personally seen comparisons between, you know, the iPhone camera and the Sony camera and the Samsung camera, can't really judge which camera is better, and of course everyone has different preferences. Some people prefer the iPhone camera over the Samsung camera, and then some people prefer Sony cameras over all of those cameras. So everyone has different preferences. However, LG have won for providing their users the most customization. It's practically close to DSLR settings. You can control the ISO, the white balance, the aperture. You can even decide whether you'd like your photos saved in JPEG or RAW, and that might be really important for certain individuals who like to then take their photos onto apps such as Photoshop on their laptops and do some further editing. And of course, I cannot forget to mention the ridiculously fast autofocus on the G4. It literally focuses in milliseconds. It's so quick and accurate. And they've also included a nice f1.8 lens, which means you can now get these really nice blurred shots. Now the camera is powered by a 16 megapixel sensor, which is also able to shoot some glorious 4K, and right besides the camera sensor, you've got the all new color spectrum sensor, which is able to determine the flash required for the photo based on the objects in the photo and the surroundings of it. So taking a look at the back of the device, you pretty much have two options in the terms of which cover you could have. So number one, you could either go with the standard plastic back. It's got a nice little texture design to it. It feels nice and it doesn't look too bad, maybe if you don't want something too flashy or definitely something too expensive. Now your second option is to go with the genuine leather back. The stitching's from Germany and it's definitely much more expensive. Now at the launch event, LG were expressing how the genuine leather back will grow with you and it would really show how you've used your phone. And of course, leather wears after a while, so it just feels so natural and it's classy and fancy. But it will be definitely much more expensive than the standard plastic back. And whilst we're at the back of the device, in case you haven't noticed already, it's also got a removable back, which means you can access the battery. And speaking of the battery, it's actually 3000 milliamps. Now, judging on my battery life usage, it's been able to take me through a whole day, and that was with minimal use. I wasn't really gaming on it much. I browsed the web probably in total, probably around 30 minutes. But it wasn't intense usage and it took me through the whole day. But regardless, a 3000 milliamp battery is still pretty big, and of course with moderate use, that should take you through the whole day. Anyway guys, this has been Ultimate Reviews here with the LG G4 review. I hope you've all enjoyed it. If you have, feel free to hit the thumbs up button and also subscribe. I've got a whole lot more content coming up soon. And if you have any questions about the G4, feel free to drop a comment down below. I'm more than happy to answer them. And I will catch you all in the next video. Have a great day. Peace.